Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you how to build an app without paying for AI and without coding. So that's what I did for my first app, and I'm going to show you later. But the tools that I used to code my first app with no coding experience were Xcode and Antigravity. Xcode because it's an iOS app and you need like Xcode to build iOS apps. But I used Antigravity to code to like prompt the AI to code and then put everything into Xcode and test it on my iPhone. And first of all, I apologize for the camera quality. It sucks. It's very bad because this camera is from my computer and it's old. And my promise here is that you won't need to pay for Claude or Cursor to vibe code your app. And you can use Google Antigravity's free plan if you do it right. So this content is coming from an X article that I wrote. I'm gonna leave the link there if you want to take a look. But the problem that most people face with Claude Code, Cursor, whatever, is that they use their quota very quickly. Because I think that in Claude Code you also have like a free quota, like a free amount of tokens, and people burn tokens really quickly. And that's because they use the wrong models to do easy tasks. It's like, let's say that you have two cars. That's an analogy. You have two cars, a Ferrari and a Honda Civic. And you have those two cars and you can use both for a limited amount of time each. Let's say you have 10 minutes of Ferrari per week and you have 1 hour of Honda per week. What people normally do is they use the Ferrari to go grocery shopping. But guess what? Grocery shopping is a basic task and a Honda will do it just fine. So you should use the Honda, right? To save the better model, the better car for later. So use the Honda to go grocery shopping and then you use the Ferrari, say, to go to a business meeting, to a date, whatever. And that's basically what we're going to do inside of Google Antigravity, because Antigravity gives you 5 models. Let me read here to give you the right information. Gemini 3.1 Pro, and you have high and low. Gemini 3 Flash, Claude Sonnet, I don't know, 4.6, Cloud Opus 4.6, which is a very good model. That's like the Ferrari here. And GPT OS 120B. And this is in the present moment when I'm speaking, March 21st. And the thing is, most people, since Cloud Opus 4.6 is the best model, they're gonna use this to like add a button to the screen, which is a very simple task. So you should use Gemini 3 Flash, which is the cheapest model and you have the most amount of tokens to do this kind of mundane tasks, and let Claude 4.6 do more complex things like integrate my current app with store kits and connect memberships, whatever. Something more complicated. Because if you use Claude Opus 4.6, which is like the best model in the present moment, to create a button, that's like using a Ferrari to go grocery shopping. That's stupid. That's just unnecessary. When you have a limited amount of quota, that's just unnecessary. And of course you can pay and burn $200 in a Cloud Code subscription, but you don't need to, because most tasks are simple tasks. So you don't just vibe code randomly. My idea is that you like engineer your tokens so that each model does a specific thing and you have tokens throughout the whole week, and then it refreshes every week and you're fine. You're always with quota. That was what I called quota engineering. Very cool. So what is this? I'm gonna read the definition here for you. It's using the cheapest viable model for each task and saving your best models for high leverage moments. That's just what I explained here for you guys, and it's simple. And of course, this depends on what you're building and what language you're coding and whatever. And I coded my app in Swift UI, which is the Apple's native language. So I'm coding for iOS only, which is kind of shit, but it's great. I like iPhone, so I like the Apple ecosystem. I just read Steve Jobs, so I said, why not? So before we move into like practical advice on how to do this, and I'm not gonna teach you how to install Antigravity. I'm not gonna teach you how to use workflows, rules, all this shit, because there are plenty of tutorials already showing you that. So before we move into like technical shit, I just want to give 3 pieces of advice that are very important, which is first, using the thinking mode inside of Antigravity or planning tasks equal to like 10 times, 20 times faster than like Flash models. So use it when you actually need it. Think through if you like actually really need it. And that's one advice. Let me just check here the advice for you. Obviously, as I just said, so you guys don't run every prompt with the strongest model available. That's just stupid, as I just said. You have a limited amount of quota of tokens per week, so you gotta use them wisely. And here's the most important part, and that's like should be obvious now if I explain my point correctly and clearly, which is to define specific tasks for each model available. So I coded in Swift. Now let me show you something. It's from the X article that I've posted. Let me put myself here, the top right, and let me show you. Okay, no, that's not what I was supposed to show. That's my app that I've built, but I'm gonna show that later. Here's the article that I've wrote. Here, let me see if you guys can read it. Wait, here's what I did. So I defined clear tasks for each model available inside of Gemini of Google's Antigravity. So that way, I'd have like very clear instructions of what model should I use to each tasks. And honestly, I've been trying to use Gemini 3 Flash, which is the cheapest model for very complex tasks, and it's like one-shotting everything. It's working perfectly. That's partially because I ran out of Cloud Opus quota, which sucked, but I got everything that I had to get from Cloud Opus this week, so it's fine. But the thing is, organize yourself. You don't need to use the best model, and like you have like an astronomical amount of tokens for Gemini 3 Flash, and it's fucking good. It codes better than you do, so chill. And that's my table, and you just need to do that for your programming language. I don't know if you code in JavaScript. Just ask ChatGPT. Like, I code in JavaScript, and I'm trying to define what model I should use to each kind of task, and then you show them the available models, and you explain that you're trying to save tokens because you have a limited amount of tokens per week, and you want to stretch the duration of your tokens so that you almost never run out of tokens. And you explain that to ChatGPT, and you go back and forth, and you ask them to put it on a table when you get something like that. And then you print the screen and put that on your fucking iPad or your fucking device, and just like, I don't know if I should do this with Gemini 3 Flash or Gemini 3 Pro Low. So then you go and search, and you see your image, your table, and you, okay, that's for Gemini 3 Flash. I think that I made myself clear, so that was something that I want to show you guys. Let me see if I have more things to show here. Here, no. Okay. Lastly, I have another important piece of advice to show you guys. So I'm back here. Okay. And that advice is the following. Don't look to my apps. Okay. That's not important now. So the advice is learn the basics of UI. You don't need to learn like for my case, for example, I code in Swift and Swift UI. UI is user interface, so it's what people see. And let's say that I wanted to increase the text a bit, increase the font size. It's very stupid to use any model, and I use that car analogy, like the Ferrari, Honda Civic, whatever. It's like using a car to cross the street. It's a very simple task, and if you learn like a tiny bit of Swift UI, in my case, I'd be able to just see where the font size is defined and increase it. And that's better because you gotta go back and forth and test it multiple times to get the design the way you like. So if you learn the basics of UI, for me it was understanding opacity, padding, spacers, font size, font colors, foreground style, things like that, which are basic, which are very basic in Swift UI. You can save a lot of quota because you don't need to say like, hey, AI, increase the button size. No, you just go and do that yourself because it's quick. It's quicker for you to like increase text size by yourself than to ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT, no, but the AI to do it. You understand? So that's another advice for you. Do a little bit of studying, understand the language you're gonna program in, so that you don't need to spend tokens and use your quota on like simple tasks that you can do in 10 seconds by yourself. And that being said, I think that I said most of what I had to say here. And just for you guys to understand, like, of course, if you need to code if you're gonna code the next Instagram, you're gonna probably need more quota than I did, because my app is quite simple, and it's very exciting. It's very great. It's a very dope app, but the point is, it's not very complicated. So I managed to never run out of quotas. But if you're gonna build non-stop and it's like the next Instagram or something very complicated, you're gonna probably run out of quotas. So depending on what you want to build, you're fine with the free plan. And just for you guys to know what I built like a habit tracker combined with an app blocker, and it's currently not available. I have like the waitlist here. I'm gonna put the link down below if you want to take a look at the waitlist, at the design, or if you're interested in the app, for you to join the waitlist. But that's not what the video is for, and that's just for you guys to like understand what I've built, so that you understand how difficult it was to build something like that, which was like easy. It took me like 2 months to build, 2.5, and I'm almost done, like 99% done, because I was waiting for Apple. But here's the thing: the idea is that you block apps like Instagram until you complete your daily habits. So you set your habits, and I put it your non-negotiables, and I put it here: follow workout program, work on business, read it 15 pages, prepare for presentation, and then it's gonna block your selected apps, social media, video games, whatever you decide to block, until you complete all your tasks, which is very cool. Which is very cool. It's like the best productivity app ever, and I'm not saying that because I am the one that created it. But that was what I built, and it was very simple to build it. And you have like grid for you to show your consistency, whatever. So that was what I built, and it took me 2 months to build, and I ran out of quotas sometimes, but like I just waited like 1 day with like patience, I would say. But the thing is, if you wait like a rock, you're standing there and waiting, like, oh, I'm waiting for my quota to refresh. Like, bitch, just do something. Like, brainstorm ideas for the app. Think of what you need to improve. If you always keep moving and there's always something to do. Like, I ran out of quota for like 5 of those 6 models. I only have Gemini 3 Flash available, and still great, still like working perfectly. But for example, I don't need to code 24/7. I can record content that will. Yes, it's educational. The whole purpose of this video is to teach you how to use Antigravity for free and stop paying for Cloud Code subscriptions. But I also like shared my app with you guys, the idea, and I'm gonna let the waitlist link down below if you guys are interested. So that's important for my app as well, like creating content that resonates with people and it's cool. So you always have something to do, and if you gotta wait like 1 day for your quota to refresh, chill, just work on other things. Like if you're building an app, I'm pretty sure that you have a lot of things to work that are not code related, like promoting your app, content, whatever. So that's my advice for you. And if you do everything right, if you play your cards right, you're never going to run out of quota in the Gemini no, and Google Antigravity free plan. So that's all for this video. I'm gonna let the X article down below if you guys want to take a look. It's like a summary of this video. I'm gonna also let my app waitlist down below because it's not ready yet. And I did the waitlist for free with Lovable, so that's why the domain's like shit. That's that's the word. I haven't paid for a domain yet, but it works if you put your email there. I have it on my database, and I can update you when the app is available on App Store. So that's all for today. Hope you find some value in this video. Go build your app, stop paying for Cursor, Cloud Code, and build it for free if you can. Like, why not? Why pay for things when you can do them for free? Don't use your Ferrari to go grocery shopping. Save that for a business meeting and a date. Bye bye. See you guys soon with more business updates, I guess. That's where this channel is heading towards. Bye.